Am I overreacting that my boyfriend did this? So me, female 22, and my boyfriend, male 31. Conspiracy theorists in 2026, they called me a madman. The first piece of poetry I read since finishing school, realizing that poetry is pretty alright when you don't have the education system demanding you to interpret it in certain way and know the entire biography of the author. Me and my humble spacebar, people who have private profiles. He collected my number and didn't call or message. AI is going to take your job. What job? Game bosses when you fight against them. Game bosses when you unlock them as playable character. Me, finally gets 8 hours of sleep. My neck, yeah but you did it wrong lol. Do you know English? Do you know how to teach someone English? Me opening a pack of treat, my cat. Bro, you should really go outside more, outside. Women when you ask them what's wrong instead of reading their minds. Normal people, vocalist, main guitarist, rest of the band members. Majority of flat earthers agree that every other planet is round, until I post again. Influencers after buying all the seats on a flight so they can fly on an empty plane and post about it. I'm injured everywhere, so you're not gonna play football today and take rest, right? Right. Kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, university and college. Control+C, Control+V. Waking up, cortisol level, high. Never let a stranger sit by themselves, you'll be surprised what tales they have to tell. Please don't do this to me if you see me sitting alone. Bro, did you just seriously allow the weight of your past mistakes determine your limitless future? I miss the times women had to wash dishes, cook, clean and weren't allowed to speak. I miss the times when men would go off to war and lie there. I'm studying, but STU is silent. But I do have a really good reason why I didn't do that. I forgot. Milli Vanilli watching people get famous for lip syncing on TikTok. Super Bowl halftime, Bad Bunny, Green Day, Puppy Bowl. When people keep making bad Sabrina Carpenter memes and you want them to stop. Me on my way after getting a text about my package arriving right after I left to chill time. There is no plan B. There is also no plan A. I have no idea what I'm doing. Me smiling at you because I didn't hear anything you just said. They offered you $80 per hour to clean the cemetery alone 10 PM to 5 AM. You're taking the job. $80 per hour. You got me effed up thinking I'm gonna refuse that. I'm making sure each one of those tombs are spotless with the finest holy water. Annabelle trying to visit her friend. Aisle 6 row 3 bro. Might get haunted but I'm leaving each shift in a Bentley with Casper and his home is in the back. 2011 me. 2011 stuff. 1995 stuff. 2026 me. 2026 stuff. 2011 stuff. What format did the EPS files drop in? PDF. Anyone else permanently going through a lot lately? A mom helping her kids beat a hard level in Super Mario Land 1990s. This is a Renaissance painting. A person learning English as a second language just asked me the difference between burned and burnt, and I just stared blankly back with a 404 error screen running through my brain. Locks the house door and checks 3 times if it's locked. My brain 5 minutes later. Did I lock the door? Me. I have to go back. My husband no longer insists when I say no to him in bed. He turns around and falls into a deep sleep. I need advice. Your advice is needed fam. Bro is done playing games. Shout out to Asians with baseball caps who lie brutally. Gotta be one of my favorite genders. When a girl says she likes a guy with blue eyes. Hey cutie, is your last name Suik? No, why? Cause I think about you every day. Prank collabs with siblings be like. What do you do when you win? Party. What do you do when you lose? Party harder. When you're pretending to read the birthday card and not notice the $20. Client says he forgot his password. Daily dose of world news straight to the eyes. Why did a woman never have to take a DNA test to see if it's their child? I have no hope for humans anymore. People are usually shocked when they find out I'm not a good electrician. We were supposed to fight for people who couldn't fight for themselves. We were supposed to fight for Willie. Career of any high-profile celebrity. Being mentioned in the X-Files. Batman has the exact powers as a person cosplaying Batman. He's out of line but he's right. Hard to swallow pills. Sometimes the Indian guy solution doesn't work. We are really just a bunch of grown adults sharing memes 24/7. This is the place I would visit with my friends, if I had any. POV. She left you for another guy and he cheated on her. Weekend plans. Actual weekend. Me thinking I look super approachable but then my face just looks like this. Billy, look, it's a ship. We are saved. They will never see us unless, I'm sorry Jim, snap. A woman diagnosed with terminal cancer left her marriage and slept with 200 men before her death. What? No, you just loot. How can you even see the pixels to aim? Millennials playing against Gen Z and GoldenEye 007. Hacker, I have all your passwords. Me, OMG thank you. What are they? Normal me at the interview. Teacher, 2 students had failed an English test. Me, impossible. Bro, dispossible. Anything that needs a mandatory Gen AI without asking the user. We ask users first and they have a choice. Suffering from bad acid reflux at night. Tie a tight and secure tourniquet around your neck to prevent the acid from coming back up. Not getting invited. Getting invited and not going. Me, an un-American, having my daily dose of scrolling American politics news and posts. Normal YouTube suggestions. What YouTube suggests to me before going to bed. When the food is so good that it low-key breaks through the taste block caused by your cold. My 79-year-old grandma has a meme framed. Going to grandparents' house. Leaving grandparents' house. And to my grandchildren I leave my collection of grocery bags that I store inside a grocery bag. I have no more passwords left in me. When there's cookies in the kitchen and my wife and kids aren't eating them quickly enough, fine, I'll do it myself. When there's a stop at the right moment video and I stop correctly but accidentally press again and it's gone before I can make a screenshot. Me looking around as I'm about to turn off the lights in the living room, the unseen shadow that's about to chase me upstairs. How I kiss my wife after she makes my doctor appointment for me. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture. White people asking for the pass from their black friends. Other minorities who don't get to ask if they can say their Me at 7 AM. I'm so tired I'm definitely going to bed early tonight. Me at midnight. Me at the hospital. Saving lives, managing emergencies and basically being a clinical genius. Me after a 12-hour shift. Staring at the fridge for 10 minutes because I forgot how to be a person. When you're talking normally and then suddenly your sentence rhymes. Me, watching my cats eat after preparing their cat food the special way they like. Stop bullying at schools or draw 25 principles. When you make a funny face but your friend doesn't turn around so you're just sat there like this. Studying in the most important academic years of my life. Doing everything other than studying. Deleting one game to download another, a small price to pay for salvation. When you lied to the hot nerdy chick about being into cosplay and now you're getting head from Jar Jar Binks in the back of your pickup truck. White girls on Instagram coming back from a mission or service trip in Africa. Social media companies discussing their AI integration strategy. Let's slop them up. Chinese man receives over 20 alerts in his Xiaomi SU7 after the car mistakes his small eyes for sleepiness. And what's the most stressful part of your job? Me. People. I just hope the next viral trend is empathy and critical thinking skills. A woman in Mexico forced a cartel to free her kidnapped husband by detaining the gang leader's mother and demanding a direct exchange. Yesterday while I cooked dinner my son said, "One day I'll help you with bills, shopping and expenses." My eyes teared up. He'll be 32 next month. Me reading 0 pages of my book while waiting for guests to arrive. Me with a job, me without a job. Sleep for 8 hours, work for 8 hours. That's only 14 hours out of 24. You still have 10 hours to cook amazing meals, work out, learn a language and walk on the beach. Time is not the issue. Yes, time is not the issue. Math is. Are you crying? No, I'm having an allergic reaction. To what? To life. Holding grudges is bad. Me with my grudges. Let's go. Let us go. Me. Finally time to sleep. I'm exhausted. My brain. Would you rather spend a couple hours worrying about how you would save your entire family on the Titanic? Me. Obviously. Exclusive. Florida man arrested for riding alligator through Wendy's drive-thru demanding chicken nuggets. God forbid men have hobbies. Why every Spanish person I know got an uncle named Tio. Y'all gon' tell him or y'all want me to? CEOs say with AI we can now produce the same products with 40% less employees. So that means they can reduce the cost of those products to its customers by 40%. Right. Kids getting mad that their parents gave away their pet to a random farmer without telling them first and not letting them say goodbye. Parents who somehow thought this was better than saying the pet passed away. Yeah, I swing both ways, having a praise kink and not being able to accept a compliment. Polly Market has announced it will open New York's first free grocery store and donate $1 million to Food Bank for NYC people who invested in silver last week. Bro thought it was like a bath bomb. You ever had a cereal bar? Yes, when I was 12. How the F do they work? When the doctor talking about some narcissism but I can see my reflection in his eyes. Dads everywhere showing up to Super Bowl parties in their best fit. If you send me a house party invite and I need to download an app to accept and come, I'm staying the F at home. I hate it when people say like if you agree, so you hate yourself. Internet all day. Internet at time. Me after hearing my white friends say they would have helped free the slaves during the 1800s. She's literally me. When you realize Windows versions are numbered 7, 8, 10 and 11 for a reason. Delivery guy brings 3 pizzas. You must be having a party. Me. You have 3 wishes. I wish you didn't know counting. You used all your wishes. Bye. Aura. What I studied for exam versus what I wrote in the exam. German slang speech is always funny to see. It's always so close to being intelligible and relatable. I spent 2 weeks looking for my iPad. Me holding back the urge to cough in class cause I already used my 2 free coughs and don't want them looking at me all weird. My son wanting to watch brain rot on YouTube. Me watching a YouTuber review a movie I love and see them trash on it because they completely misinterpreted the movie and got the message of it wrong. My 6-year-old wanted me to pretend to be her mom and I said I'm your mom and she said but like a cool young fun mom. I'm glad I tore up my body to birth her just to get shredded to pieces like that. JD Vance wooed by own reflection in mirror. Image calls VP loser right to his face. The reflection mocked the vice president for a full 10 minutes, berating him for being worthless and always ruining everything. When I'm arguing politics with someone and they make a bad argument I would have said a few years ago. Visual representation of anyone who owned a fidget spinner back in 2017. What level of adulting have you reached? Why is there so much sugar in everything? Fight the power. Wanted. Turtle kicker. Cashier, your total is $3,896. Me, can you take off the replacement razor blades? Cashier, okay, that'll be $2.99. Microsoft, after replacing 9,000 employees with the AI tools that they built by the employees. No, I can't laugh yet, I must hold back. Tape when it sticks onto some surface. Tape when it sticks to itself. Getting robbed in my home, my cat. This kid was born with a suspended driver's license. When you just paid your rent and now you have a warm place to starve in. A baby from the 40s looks more mature than I do in my 40s. One time the girl of my dreams asked me if I needed a ride home from campus, so I obviously let her drive me home and then walked back to campus a couple of hours later to get my car. If I have to parallel park, don't invite me. YouTubers I enjoyed watching when I was a kid. Where they are now. Completing the tasks in front of me, thinking of other tasks and doing nothing. Me. Unable to make a decision, Cecily made a cup of tea instead. We do not throw away perfectly good food in this house. We put it in a Tupperware dish until it goes bad, then we throw it away. People talking about early 2000s internet, Newgrounds, something awful landfark, live journal. Don't forget, me, I won't, my brain. Forget what? Michelin, I guess we are rating restaurants now. I read somewhere that biting into a lemon can help end a panic attack by making you focus on your senses, and now all I can imagine is encountering a stressful situation in work, pulling a lemon out of my pocket and biting into it, all while maintaining eye contact with someone. Fahrenheit, Celsius, -40. Me at a wedding trying to get an ice cream for the 12th time. If anyone is still preying on my downfall, please stop, bro, it worked. I'm cooked. Clothes too dirty for the closest but too clean for the laundry. Welcome to the chair. Explaining myself is too much work, just judge me. 67 and 69, 68. TJ Maxx cashier, did you find everything you were looking for? Me unloading full cart. First of all, I wasn't looking for any of this. Boys can go back to the girl who dumped them 10 times, but they won't go back to the barber who messed up their haircut once. You think you have a problem? Have you met someone who is still paying a wedding loan after divorce? Olympic athlete makes a tiny mistake. Me, pathetic. When a 10 out of 10 asks for your Instagram, but first you have to take out your Show Me Read Me Messy edition and ask her for a hotspot. See you next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Me about to approach a girl, the reflection on my phone screen showing me how ugly I am. Octopi, cats, being able to fit into anything. Who wants to buy one of these suits with me and run into a crowded supermarket screaming, which way did he go? FBI arrests black rectangle after it appears over 6 million times in EPS files. You're invited to a dinner for the rich elite, you are poor. In New Mexico, a man was arrested for buying a woman food so that she would have sex with him. The man has been charged with dating. Anything you need to throw away. Am I just not good enough for you? I have a cold. Thank you Android Auto for looking like a warning light. Phones making sure to send a notification every time you touch the top of your screen. Realizing upon arrival you have been catfished.
Spare change. Spare change, ma'am.